What is up, everybody? What's going on? How's everybody feeling tonight? Oh, what is that? I got an ad for my own stuff. All right. Good to hear, David. What is up, everyone? Oh, let me mute this. Now that I know the audio is good, muting. There we go. What's up? Let me pull this up. You're funny gaming. What's up? Oh, Zhao Montan. I can't pronounce that. But what is up? What's up, Cyan, Sebastian, Dwight Schrute in the chat? What is going on? Where is the green in lanterns? Yeah. What's funny is I literally actually have a tab pulled up about that, about the green missing from the lanterns trailer. It sounds weird just saying lanterns instead of green lanterns. And yeah. What's going on? Oh, I appreciate that. Mad Patter. Really do. And yeah, I think you've probably guessed it by now. I love Marvel as well. I just love, well, one, I love movies in general, but I've always been drawn to Marvel in particular, DC as well, obviously, since, growing up, just always really have. Why am I live streaming today? Well, we used to live stream every week. I want to get back to that. I'd actually like to live stream a couple times a week. Chris is not with me today because he is at Disney. Him and some friends are at, at Disney right now. Rick, I know, right? I don't know how I feel about lanterns. We will get into it. Want some more people to get into the chat. Yeah. So we'll get into it, but I literally have a tab pulled up with it on the other screen. And when I start to share the screen, we'll talk about that because it is kind of funny. Woof, woof, Alan, woof, woof. Josh Godey, what's going on? I have heard a theory from my source about lanterns. Cyan, go ahead, throw it up there. Let's talk about it. I hope Toby SpiderMan lives. Nathaniel. Me too. If you've been following my podcast, which is the Cosmic Variance Authority podcast, Ross, I appreciate that. What's going on? My one rule is Tobey Maguire cannot die in Avengers Doomsday, but according to reports, that's like what's gonna happen immediately. Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. So is Iron Fist rumored to appear in season 2? What we're hearing, it's very vague. We're either going to see him at the very end, or they're going to mention him and he's going to appear in season 3. But it sounds like no matter what, he's gonna appear in season 3. Coffee Shake, what's going on? Have you watched the Lanterns? The trailer? Yes. The show's not out yet, right? Yeah. No. Hey, Matthew, what up? Welcome, everybody. Do you think Loki 616, who died in Infinity War, is in Valhalla? Rumors the original Loki will come with the army Odin sends to Thor. That's actually a really great thought. I really like that. I thought about that as well. I've thought about it in like a different context, actually. That's actually a good point, though. We've heard about that army coming. And yeah, maybe, I mean, since it's, we're deep in the multiverse saga, since Loki's already showed us many different Loki variants, it wouldn't be absurd to think that the one that did die in Infinity War is in Valhalla, and he would go to the same Odin, who is, well, one, his father, but Thor's father, of whom he's praying to. So I like that a lot. I like that, Sebastian. Yeah. You loved Ryan Reynolds' Green Lanterns. That's great, Donnie. I gotta say, I honestly have not watched it. in over 10 years, probably. I'd have to give it another watch. I think giving it another watch, especially before Lanterns comes out, was cool. Yeah. Well, this is really funny. Not that I'm anybody, right? I'm a guy who talks about Marvel on the internet, but it's funny because I always talk about these actors who say they're not in Doomsday. And sometimes people ask me if I'm in Doomsday, and I'm really not. I know there are, like, I have buddies who are going to be in Doomsday, just the nobodies. And they are, I think, they're really big on TikTok. I think they almost have like 10 million followers or something like that. I am not that big. And yeah, the Russo brothers have been working with other, bigger people. Maybe they are. I promise you I'm not. And if I am, I don't know about it. I'm really not that big of a deal. But I appreciate everybody being here. I can't wait for this, Nancy the Fish. God Emperor Doom will break minds. I would like to know from all of you. Please let me know in the chat. Do you want to see Doom just like completely obliterate people? Like to the point to where it's like at the end they're fighting him and it's really still not even that big of a battle. Like he's just kind of wiping the floor with them. Or do you want to see them actually put up a fight against Doom? What would you like? I would like to know. I really would like to know. Thank you for the super chat, Rick 16.7. I want Avengers Thunderbolts survive after Secret Wars. Man, or woman, sorry. Oh, Rick, man. Rick, I think some of your Thunderbolts are going to die. But if Doom resurrects everybody at the end, if Secret Wars gives us the resurrection of everybody, then it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I think some of your Thunderbolts are going to die. Our Thunderbolts, I love the Thunderbolts. One of my favorite characters is Red Guardian. I think he's going to die. I think John Walker's going to die. I think Ghost dies. Here's a thought, though, for you. If they resurrect everyone in Secret Wars, maybe Taskmaster comes back. Who knows? Ross, this is a great question. It's actually something that I have struggled with for a very long time. I do cover DC. I would call it randomly. I want to do more coverage with DC, but anytime I've really dabbled in DC or like anything else, I get a lot of pushback. Like, to be just like perfectly honest and vulnerable here, I get a lot of pushback from people saying that I just want a Marvel only channel. And there's a part of me that's like, yeah, this is all I talk about. This is how I built the channel. I want to stay true to that. Even though, yes, I do love DC. I would like to cover more of it. And I probably will. In all honesty, I probably will. This is really funny. That's exactly what someone in Doomsday would say, bro. Hella sus. I really wish I was being hella sus right now. And Coffee Shake, I would freak out too because I'm not in it. This is what we got to have, Nancy the Fish. I agree. Let's do it. I want to see Doom rip Thanos' skeleton, just rip it out from his body. That's what I need. I need that. And what was like the light show at that expo that Marvel did, that Disney did, that showed him doing it? Yeah. Nathaniel, that is what I am hearing. And I really would be really shocked if that didn't happen. See, I'm not calling you out, Songi. But there are people out there who are like, I just want a Marvel channel. I don't want DC. And I totally get it. Yeah. The rumors about Ultron showing up stopped. Do you still think he is? I would probably say there's going to be some type of version of Ultron in Avengers Secret Wars, especially because he's coming back in Vision Quest. It's funny, I think a lot of people are forgetting about Vision Quest, but I actually think it's going to be pretty important. I mean, I think both of his kids are going to be in Vision Quest. If not, we know that Speed is going to be introduced in Vision Quest. Well, we found out about Speed in Agatha all along, but we're really going to meet Speed reincarnated, Tommy reincarnated in Vision Quest. And I think that's going to be, yeah. I hope it happens to Rick. I hope it happens to that. How do you think the creation of Battleworld will be shown? I actually did a video on this like 2 days ago or something like that. I was, just kind of going over some notes, and I was looking over like new plot leaks that come out. I just thought, I think Doom is going to eventually get to Loki. And I think Loki is incredibly powerful right now, but I think he's using all that power to hold everything together, to hold all the branches. So I was talking about how Doom, like, literally physically creates Battleworld. And I think he dethrones Loki. I think that unfortunately means that he's going to die. I don't want Loki to die. I think Loki's had one of the best arcs ever, even though it's not exactly the same Loki, right, from the Infinity War and everything like that. But and from there, I think all the branches start to die, and I think Doom literally grabs a couple handfuls and throws them together, and that is how he creates Battleworld. But unlike He Who Remains, who was in the background, right, not physically on the sacred timeline, although he could have popped in whenever he wanted to. But instead of ruling from like the shadows, it's Doom. It's Victor Von Doom. He has an ego. He has to be on the world that he created, and everybody has to know that he created it because he is Victor Von Doom, and he'll be God Emperor Doom. So Manny Nunez, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. This is a good question right here too. The simple 4852. Do you think they can top the endgame portal scene in Doomsday or Secret Wars? I do, but I also think the Russos realize that it can't just be kind of the same thing, because you think about Secret Wars, Avengers Secret Wars, or even Doomsday, right? So we have heard at some point in time, or sorry, at many points in time, we have heard the old plot for Deadpool and Wolverine, which was Deadpool and Wolverine were actually going to go around to different universes, grabbing different heroes, and there was going to be a big TVA fight. That obviously didn't happen. From what we heard, they didn't necessarily scrap it, but they moved away from it in Deadpool and Wolverine. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that they have planned for Secret Wars. But here's the issue. If you just have a bunch of portals opening up everywhere, it would be cool. Like, not like, what I was going to get at is that people might compare that to the portal scene, because it's literally, again, portals opening up and variants coming out. This time it would be different characters, different variants, right? Not just people from our universe. So it would still be really big. But I think if you're the Russo brothers, you want it to differ a little bit, right? Like from the Endgame's portal scene, right? You want it to be something else, like crazy big, don't you? I mean, I don't know. I still think that would work. I still think it would be bigger, because you could have crazy stuff. You could, like, if y'all saw the Flash movie, there's a part where, like, they show like Nicolas Cage's Superman, right? And they show, a bunch of other things. So it's like, it could be kind of like that. A bunch of people could pop up, but Wildcat Kyle, thank you for that super chat. I have a hunch Dr. Doom kills Thor before he becomes God King Doom. Sentry will be the Molecule Man of Secret Wars. Yeah, I like that idea, because I've thought about that before, and I've also, if you caught the Secret Wars leaked photos, the concept art photos, like that shit. Let me bring that up right now. Avengers Secret Wars leaked concept art. You guys can let me know what you think about this. Okay, here we go. Why won't you pull up? Okay, there we go. Let's share this screen here. Oh, Google Chrome is requesting to bypass. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. Here we go. Does it pop up? There we go. These photo, I really hope. Yeah. So we've seen this, right? This is God Emperor Doom, white armor, white cloak, because, I think there's something, angels, or God also cries, like they're depicted in white. So God Emperor Doom, I think that's a funny play on that. I really want to know what this is about. Like, I really want to know what this is about. It's hilarious to me. But let's get to this. Who do y'all think this is? This person has long hair, but also it looks like maybe water is being poured on top of him, and there's steam/flames coming off. So maybe this could be Johnny Storm. But I was thinking maybe Sentry is like, since he's so strong, is literally like a battery powering Battleworld. Something like that. Now in the comics, it's kind of twisted. I don't know if y'all have read it in Secret Wars or if you've heard me talk about it before. In the comics, Sue is talking about how her brother Johnny betrayed them, right? Went against Doom, and Doom is married to Sue on Battleworld. And Sue doesn't remember, the past, Reed Richards or anything like that. And the punishment that Doom actually let Sue choose was to turn Johnny into the sun, which is pretty crazy. So I was thinking maybe that's something similar, but Sentry might be like a power source in Avengers Secret Wars for Battleworld. Yeah, maybe. Molecule Man, I kind of think, I've always kind of thought if anyone's kind of going to take his place, it would kind of be Franklin or maybe just Loki. I don't know. I think Doom is going to have a way to like take people's powers. That's what I think, because we've seen the concept art of him, like the official one from Marvel, and he has those emblems on his chest, right? I can't get over those emblems. I keep thinking, wait, what? How is this different? Oh, that's not right. What about this? You can see it better now, I guess. What does this do? Oh, I'm gone. Sorry. I'm figuring out new stuff since I'm solo today. Oh, that works. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So about your super chat, which I am grateful for. Yeah, funny if Hercules, that would be funny. Johnny Storm, let there be, imagine a post-credit scene, let Dr. Doom saying, let there be light. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to see some deaths in secret. So this is actually something, this is actually something I would like to know y'all's opinion on. We talked about this on my podcast, but this is live, so I'd like feedback here if y'all don't mind, because I am curious about this. Do you think it cheapens deaths by having everybody resurrect in Secret Wars? Now, I will say that originally I didn't like it because I thought, like, okay, let's say Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man dies, and I'm pissed off because I will be, because that's my one rule. Tobey Spider-Man can't die. But it sounds like he's gonna, right? So Tobey can't die, but Tobey dies. Then we see him in Secret Wars as like a variant, right? I don't like that. I don't want a variant of somebody, of a character that I've known and followed for so many years to come back as a different variant, right? So like say like Tom Holland's Spider-Man died and then he came back as a different variant, right? It's not exactly the same one. Same thing with like Tony Stark. Tony Stark's dead. We see another variant in Secret Wars or Doomsday. We know it's not actually like our Tony, right? So I didn't like that, but that's variance. If they actually resurrected the actual people, then to me, that's okay. If the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man dies, and then that exact same Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man comes back as a resurrected person, same body, same like spirit, whatever you want to call it, I'm okay with that. But what do y'all think? And I'm also with you, Ross. If Tobey dies, we rage. Unless they bring him back, like resurrect him. Yeah, they did it in Endgame, but it was for Thanos, which like, it's okay because I guess it's like the villain, right? I would have been pissed if it was like a variant of Natasha, right? And who know, like, you know what's funny? We haven't heard anything about Scarlett Johansson really returning. Somebody asked her recently if she was going to be returning, and she was like, I don't know how they would do that. And then I'm kind of like, we all know how they would do that. You would be a variant. It wouldn't be the same person. It would be a variant. Yeah. You don't want that style, Rick? No. Do you think Sandman could be in Doomsday or Secret Wars? Maybe, because I think in Secret Wars they're gonna take a page from the Secret Wars comic in which they have like barons over different like territories of land, and they're typically controlled by villains. So he could possibly be a villain over a land. It's totally possible. The likelihood of it, I'm not sure. You knew everyone was going to die from the jump. Interesting. Yeah. Yes, this was what Wolverine was, though, in Deadpool and Wolverine. That is a good point. That is a good point. Ian, I believe is how you say that. That's a good point. And I did basically think of him as basically the same Wolverine that we've seen over time. So that's a good point. I just feel like it's too much to do with like, I feel like they would do it too quickly, in all honesty. Because it's like, oh, they're dead. Oh, but here they come back. And we just got to go right into a story, right? So we don't really have time to go into a backstory of all of these different variants, right? Because if everybody dies and they're all variants returning, then they might have all different backstories. You don't have time to dive into that with Secret Wars. So I will agree with you on this, Angel. I think we're long overdue for some cosmic entities. We have seen the Living Tribunal, and we've seen. I'm not gonna lie though, Thor: Love and Thunder being what it was, the Eternity part I thought was incredibly cool. I'm sad it was wasted on such a goofy movie, but I thought that was so cool. That blew my mind. There was actually, there are sparks of really cool things in Thor: Love and Thunder, like when they're doing kind of like the flashback of Jane and Thor, and he's talking to Mjolnir, and he says, like, I need you to protect Jane. Like if something, whatever it may be, I just need you to protect Jane. And that's kind of how Jane becomes worthy to lift Mjolnir. I really like that. What you talking about, Cyan? My sources told me that for Lanterns is that the first 3 episodes will be grounded, and it will basically be a big mystery about people seeing red and yellow lanterns, and they will kill people. I actually kind of heard something similar to that. I'm worried about lanterns. We will get to that. It is funny how they didn't show any green. I have that pulled up somewhere. Yeah, let's this isn't the easiest system to work. Either that or I'm just a noob at it. Let's do this. Share. This is like everyone's mad that there's no green. Like literally the suit is brown too. Like and like I get it, you're going with something different, but the ring's supposed to make the suit, which is like, I mean, there's comic stories in that where there is actual suits. And that lantern is very interesting. Very, very interesting. But yeah, I mean, not a lot. There's green in that football field. There's a little green up here. I'm not writing it off. I am concerned. Thoughts on James Gunn as a comic book director? Should he continue or be let go? Oh, this is a different one, and I'll get to this in a bit. Oh, May's Death No Way Home is an incursion. It's actually true, the King. That's a good point. Let's talk about that in a bit. That's actually a really good point, though. The Lanterns, though, I think James Gunn is a good director. I think he needs to. This is going to sound weird because he already has with like the Guardians, but I still think I think he needs to nail a few more projects for the DCU, right? I mean, we've really only had like a couple, but I thought Peacemaker 1 was better than Peacemaker Season 2. He hyped up the ending of Peacemaker Season 2, and I didn't think it was that good. If the whole Paramount thing happens, if Paramount gets Warner Brothers, I've heard rumors that he's said, he's going to leave. Let's actually talk about that. That's actually something that I have pulled up here. How do I? No, that's wrong. How do I do this? Pull that up. Oh boy, this other monitor is not working with me. Let's do this. Let me pull it up. This is a big deal, right? Just for industry in general. And it does affect Marvel a little bit. Just a little bit. But James Gunn, or John Campea, almost said John Cena. John Campea doubles down on his prediction that James Gunn will leave DC Studios once merger is complete. I don't know if that's an actual prediction or if he's heard something, but he's not the only one saying that. There's a lot of people who don't like Paramount because of who owns them, but I mean, they're not going anywhere, and the Ellisons do have a lot of money, which is why they have apparently won this bidding war. Netflix backed out because they can't compete with the money. I mean, literally just so much money, billions and billions and billions. It could take a long time, and the DOJ could deny it, right? Or they could say, hey, Paramount, you got to sell some stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you own too much. That's what they did to Disney when they bought Fox. They made them sell some things that they owned to make it okay. So they might do that. Definitely might do that. Mergers can take a really, really long time. Imagine John Cena as the new Steve Rogers in the MCU. I'm not gonna lie though, like, I think John Cena has the personality for it. I like John Cena a lot. That's just me. Do I ever, Jacob, what's up? A member in the chat. What up? Do you think Marvel and DC will ever meet? Yeah, no, I do. And that's actually one of the reasons I'd like James Gunn to stay in charge of DC, is because him and Kevin Feige play along very nicely. And I do think, you know, both of them have said they want to see it happen. So I do think it will happen eventually. I think it should be a one-off thing, maybe. You know, like a spotlight, Marvel Spotlight, or like DC Elseworld, something like that. Yeah. And someone, Songi, asking about my favorite DC show, Peacemaker, man. Like, oh wait, the Penguin. Oh, I would say Peacemaker season 1. The Penguin was so freaking good though, man. Like, I really love the Penguin. That was such a good show. That was such a good show. Do you think we'll get Edward Norton's Hulk as a cameo in Daredevil or Secret Wars? So let me bring back up this, what I was going to show, what I was talking about already. Let's go back to this, because why can't I? Am I zoomed in too much? Yeah, I'm zoomed in. Okay. This is very interesting to me. Giant wall in the back, which kind of leads me to believe that this is, like I was talking about before, like maybe one of the oh, mute that so you guys don't hear my voice echo. Put the chat right here. Cool. A lot of people think this is Greenland, and the scenario for that is that this is a universe to where gamma bombs hit just a massive part of Greenland, and not only people, but creatures and insects and stuff all kind of get hulked. I don't, they get hulked out. They get affected by the gamma. And because if you take a look, like you look in the background here, if I can zoom in more, like these are all Hulks, right? You see, like they're all green. Not all of them, but you know, this one is. This is a Hulk. This is a Hulk. This is a Hulk. Unless this is Gamora, which I really don't think it is. Oh, why can't I move? I don't know. Hulk, like, and then there's like, sorry, I'm so bad at controlling Hulk. Yeah, this is like the second, not the second, but you know, right when these photos came out, that's what, you know, insiders were telling us. They're like, this is Greenland. And since there's that wall in the background, that wall there, what I'm thinking is this is a, you know, one of the territories of Battleworld that a Baron rules over. Who that Baron might be, I would hope it's Maestro Hulk, because he's one of them in the comics. I think that would be really cool. With this happening, there's definitely a possibility for Norton and Bana to appear. And I think they should. I think it would be really cool. I think it would be really cool. Sentry versus Hulk would be pretty cool. What's up, Khaleesi? What's going on? I want Worldbreaker Hulk in Brand New Day. I don't know about Worldbreaker Hulk, but definitely Savage Hulk is coming back. Yeah, right here. Like, Savage Hulk is definitely coming back. I think we have enough proof of that already. And did you guys see the new comic that Marvel came out with? The new Spider-Man comic? It literally has Spider-Man, the Hulk, and the Punisher. I'm like, okay. They're really kind of telling us what's going on there. Yeah, I've the King. I've heard that both Savage Hulk and Grey Hulk are going to be in Brand New Day. Man, we've heard so much about that movie at this point. And I let me know in the chat. Is Sadie Sink Jean Grey? I'm fully convinced at this point in time she's Jean Grey. I mean, some insiders are like, "Oh, she has psychic powers." Okay, she's Jean Grey. Oh, she wears green and yellow. Okay, she's Jean Grey. It's just like beating around the bush rather than just coming out and saying she's Jean Grey. Although some insiders did recently come out and say that, yeah, that's her. Like Cryptic HD Quality came out and recently said, yeah, she's Jean Grey. And so 6.183, yeah, that's basically, what we've heard. Like what we've specifically heard as far as what he's going to look like or like act like is Age of Ultron Hulk. So that's savage, right? That's pretty savage. We got a lot. Bloody Knuckles show and Edward Sport. I'm sorry if that's said wrong. But I do recognize you from my podcast. Thanks for always commenting. I thought Lanterns looked peak. People overanalyzing. We needed this to be grounded different for DCU people. Know that there's going to be a ton of green in the show if you show people in space. And I think, and there was, somebody was reporting as well. What's up, Spider? That the first few episodes are going to be grounded, and then it's going to get pretty crazy. And I'm okay with that. I don't ever want to write anything off before I see it. I'm definitely going to give it a shot. I'm going to watch it because just I love this stuff. I eat it up. I hope it's good. Just because I love the stuff doesn't mean I love everything that I watch, because I don't. Sadly, I wish I did. But yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely here to give it a chance. Well, Guardians return in Doomsday. There actually is this. There's this, which like I have a theory about what this is right here. Because in Vision Quest, we're getting Vision back, obviously, and he's like tackling the memories. You know what I mean? Like he got hit with a lot from, well, I guess I can't say real Vision, but because Wanda like brought him back, so he wasn't completely real, but real Vision. I think that he's having a hard time processing all the memories that are basically he's being hit with, and then I also think he's just having a hard time kind of becoming the old Vision / being human. And I think Star-Lord's having the same problem, because he's not, I mean, technically he's from Earth, but he hasn't been on Earth in a really long time. And I think Star-Lord would be the guy that's like, yeah, hey, I haven't been on Earth either. Let me show you how being human works. I can help you out, buddy. I think that would be really cool. I think it would be really funny. So I need to see this. I don't know if these are reportedly Secret Wars leaks, concept art, you know what I mean? So maybe on Battle World, the two of them buddy up and are roommates and stuff, and I think it would be cool. I also think there's this, which I really like. Wong, Star-Lord, and then the Young Avengers. And I do believe these are going to be our Young Avengers. Maybe they do like an Iron Lad or something like that. But I think these are our Young Avengers. Hawkeye, the new Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Cassie Lang, Speed, Wiccan, Kamala Khan. Goop. So yeah, Sunggi, like they said, the legendary Star-Lord will return. G'day. G'day. Yep. That was Korean, in case nobody really understood what I was saying. The king. So that's a good question right there. But do you think that would be cheap? I'll ask the chat that. If Doom resurrects people in Secret Wars and Aunt May comes back, is that cheap? Or is that awesome? I kind of think it would be awesome. I kind of think that would be awesome. What if Cassie has the same fate as she did in the Kang Dynasty script? I'm more worried about Ant-Man, to be honest. See, this is what I was talking about. I'm worried that Ant-Man's going to die, but what if he's just brought back? you know. Peter should make a deal with Mephisto, just like One More Day, I believe is the story that's from. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just like that comic story. Yeah. That's definitely a possibility. I don't know if they would do that. Yeah, I don't know. How would you feel about Marvel and DC crossover TV show with each episode having a different crossover like Avengers? I mean, that would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie, like each episode being something different, that would be pretty cool. I did want to say shout out to Anthony, member in the chat. What is going on? Thank you, Anthony. I really appreciate that. You as well. Are you working? When you usually join the lives, you're working. So I appreciate you joining. Jacob Harris, another member. What up? Will you be announcing the red carpet premiere any chance by Doomsday? Not that they have contacted me for that, so no. I don't really work with Disney anymore. I don't know if you guys noticed that way, like when I used to do stuff for them. They do tend to want to dictate to what you talk about. Right. So basically it's like, hey, you can't talk about any of these leaks that are coming out, or we're not going to give you opportunities. So ultimately I just kind of said, okay, well, I won't take the opportunities then. Like, I don't, like, they never pay me. They've never paid me. Right. Like anytime I've gotten the opportunity, and granted, it's a great opportunity to go to a red carpet premiere and stuff like that. Like I pay for my ticket, right? I pay for my hotel. Like they don't pay for anything. The only thing that Disney has ever put me up for is to cover Star Wars Celebration. They paid for my hotel and my flight, I believe, but I didn't get paid. That is the only time I've ever gotten anything that has like a monetary value from Disney. So yeah, they had a change in leadership for the side that handles all of that, and it became very messy. And it got to the point to where I was basically like, yeah, this isn't worth it to me. I want to be able to talk about whatever I want, right? And it's not like they were giving me, I wasn't interviewing, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, you know what I mean? It's like, and don't get me wrong, I understand working your way up, but I had worked with them for a really long time. So it is what it is. I'd rather just be able to talk about what I want to talk about. So would they get me to host a red carpet? Here's the deal for me. I don't really do other platforms that much. I don't really do Instagram that much. I'm trying to do better at TikTok because I actually don't mind making the shorter videos. Like my YouTube channel is where I really like to talk about stuff, right? I know some people are like, your videos are long. I'm like, I could talk for hours. That's what we're doing right now. I've talked for 37 minutes. My podcast we do every week, we try to keep it to an hour, but the previous episodes of the podcast, some were almost 3 hours long. I could talk forever about this stuff. This is what I love. I don't just do this for work. This is actually what I love. So yeah. But the shorter videos, I don't mind doing those quick little update videos. So I try to post on TikTok a little bit more. But I'm not too good with like Instagram and all that stuff. Yeah. YouTube is the good. I mean, that's how I feel. Like I started on YouTube. To be honest, I never really I didn't jump on TikTok when it first started because I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I do YouTube. I like the community here on YouTube. I love all you. Like, it's great. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Brennan. Yeah, I mean, if you guys, if they want to, totally. I don't know them. I've never met either of them. I know who they are because I know what the Escape Podcast is. Totally. Yeah. This is going to be kind of crazy. And I'll bring it over here. There's a different one. There's a very different outfit for T'Challa. And excuse me, I need some water. My voice is giving out. My nieces and nephews are in town from Alaska, and they were hanging out with my other nieces and nephews. So I went over today, and my voice is like shot. So excuse me. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. The King, Katie, the King. Going back to this, looking forward to T'Challa. Yeah, I get what Marvel was trying to do. I get what Kevin Feige was talking about when he's like, we're not recasting T'Challa. I get where they were coming from, but I think it was a mistake. Like, don't get me wrong. I get honoring Chadwick. He was an amazing actor, and based on everything we know, he was a great person. But I think they should have just recast him. I really do. But, the multiverse is the great opportunity to like reset everything, right? Especially Secret Wars with the destruction of the entire multiverse. I mean, this is cool. This is definitely like feels more tribal to me, you know? Like, look at that freaking, why isn't it working? Here we go. Look at that. That's kind of crazy to me. I don't know what you would, it's almost like a hook. Like, I don't even know what would you even call that? Where am I from? I'm from Florida, Orlando. I grew up most well, kind of old now. I can't No, most of my life I grew up in Florida till I was about 25. And I'm 36 now. So still most of my life in Florida. Yeah, that's where I'm from. I actually really agree with this comment. When I first saw Black Panther Wakanda Forever for the first time, it was very emotional. Very emotional. And it was like I had such an like anticipation, like anticipating what it was going to be. How are they going to do it? How would they address it? And he just dies right away. And it was very emotional. But I watched it again and I almost fell asleep. Maybe that's because I've already seen it before, right? But I've only seen it 2 times. Twice. So yeah, I'm not saying that it's a bad movie by any means, but it's definitely good. But I just gotta wonder what it would have been if they recast T'Challa or Chadwick was still alive. Like, what would that movie have been? It would have been better for sure, is what I can say about that. Yeah, it's a good point. I have the high ground. Don't try it. I have the high ground. Lanterns are so grounded. They either go very silly with Ryan Reynolds or Green Lantern, are very grounded. Why isn't there a middle ground? I think you're going to get to the middle ground in this show. At least I hope. And we've had some people talk about it in the chat already. They've heard that the first 3 episodes are going to be pretty grounded, and then it's going to pick up and get pretty crazy. So I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I hope it's not too much of a slow burn in the beginning, though. One thing I kind of don't understand is like, really, why not just go super comic accurate? Not saying like you have to have the stories be the same, but like comic accurate suits, comic accurate Lantern. I get that these people want to put a fresh spin on things, put their own take on it. And maybe I don't know, y'all let me know. But to me, I'm kind of like, I would rather it stay pretty true to the comics. I'm not saying it has to be the same story, but there's characteristics for personalities and also visually that I do want to see. You know what I mean? This, if I were in Doomsday, this is totally what I would do. Yeah, totally. I would take that baby and I would sacrifice myself for Tobey Maguire. If you happen upon this some random way, I would sacrifice myself for you in Avengers Doomsday. So if you need me in there, let the big guys know. Totally. I am a rap hip hop fan too. Aesop Rock. Talking about ASAP Rocky, or am I don't think I've ever even heard of him, to be honest. No, I mean, maybe I've heard some songs by him. I am a rap and hip hop fan, though, for sure. I've never heard of him, though. I'll have to check him out. I got him pulled up on a tab here, so thanks for that. This would be cool. I would like that. Does anybody know Kevin Feige? I've met him one time. I doubt he knows who I am, unless he knows who I am for a bad reason, because I leak things. Well, okay, I don't leak things. I report things people leak, to be fair. I think I've only ever had one leak. And that is because I saw a version of the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer way before it came out, and I saw that Peter's black suit was just his suit turned inside out. I think that was the only leak that I've ever actually put to the public that I knew like before anybody else. Besides that, I just report on the leaks. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. Eric Voss was at that screening thing with the at AGBO. So him over me because I wasn't there, right? So question, do you think Kevin will step down from Marvel down the line, and who would you replace as the head? I would put Jon Favreau in there. Favreau, I think, I don't know if he'd want it. I know he's also involved with Star Wars. Disney loves him. He has directed, well, Iron Man 1. He is the sole reason Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man. At that time, no, and he did like Elf. He directed Elf. Like he has done so much stuff. And I think he's awesome. And he's acted himself in a lot of things, like in The Replacements. He was in Friends. He's been in a lot of stuff. Couples Retreat, like a lot of stuff. I'm probably not naming the best thing, but I do like Favreau a lot. And I actually thought he was going to be the one to do Star Wars. But if Feige stepped down, I think Favreau would be the next best. I meant you as the character, the watcher. Yeah, no, I figured. Yeah, no, totally. I think that would be cool. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would take anything. I would just love to be in the MCU. They did Free Guy. You know how they did Free Guy? They had like Ninja and Pokemon and like Jacksepticeye and other people in there. I would love to do that. Like, I would obviously love to play a superhero. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Well, I won't say that. I don't want to put that out into the universe. I'm going to say maybe one day I will play a superhero in the MCU. I think that would be really cool. I'd love to play Wolverine. I'm really not that tall. I'm 5'7". I'm pretty scruffy. I'll work on getting jacked, Marvel, if that's what you need. I've been hitting the gym, and the cut's going to start soon. So I'm here, Marvel. If you're looking for maybe give me an audition for Wolverine, I would love it. Oh, that's a good one too. Where did I see that? Brad Winderbaum. Yeah, I mean, he's already in charge of Marvel Television. They just have to get somebody else in charge of Marvel Television, because I do believe they need like separate people. I think it should be like Feige's in charge of movies now, which I totally agree with. And he's also in charge of everything, but he put a lot of trust and responsibility in Brad Winderbaum. And I think that's going to result in better projects for us, for sure. Yep, that's what we do it. We go. Toby dies. I'm not going to be the one to say yay for legal purposes, but I am going to freak out if Toby dies. I think he'll be brought back, but yeah. I don't know. I'm sure they'll dedicate something to him. You know what I mean? They had the little thing in Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah. I wonder. Peacemaker's better than Superman. Peacemaker season 1, I think Peacemaker season 1 was like super peak. Like, I remember when it first came out, like all my friends who don't really, not all my friends are into all this stuff, and I remember just making everybody like, you have to watch Peacemaker, dude. It's so funny. And it's so like real, like the emotions raw, everything's raw. John Cena is fantastic. Like, I really like John Cena. I really like it, John Cena a lot. Jon Favreau would be awesome. Replace Feige. Everything he's done has been awesome. And yes, The Replacements is one of my favorite movies ever. And he's just like, red means don't hit. He's like, oh crap, I forgot about the red shirt. Like, I think and then he's like also like very serious when he sits across the guy that went to prison because he's a cop. Like, man, I think he's just fantastic. I think what he touches turns to gold. Yeah, I would totally play Iceman. I would even play Warren, aka Angel. I mean, I would play anybody. I really would. I would just love to be. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an actor. I really did. I didn't really do anything to pursue that. I did grow up. When I grow up, from like grade like 2 to 7, I went to a school of the arts. So we did singing, dancing, acting, we did all that. And that's where I really, really wanted to be an actor, but I never like when I grew up, I never like pursued it or anything like that. I have a weird life trajectory. Was in graduate school, dropped out, started business with my dad. My dad ended up passing away. We had some really bad partners. This whole big thing. Switched careers, then went to started doing YouTube, and that took off. And here I am. So I'm grateful. But my life trajectory has been really weird. So unfortunately, I didn't get to go for acting, but maybe one day, who knows? Who knows? Black Panther, engage all defenses. Look at RDJ and get this man some brown face. Tropic Thunder. I really love that movie. I wish people would relax a little bit more, because I think that movie was awesome. Red Guardian is one of my favorite characters. I would love to play a rebooted Red Guardian in the MCU. I will learn to do a Russian accent. I will hire somebody that will teach me the Russian accent, because I think Red Guardian is such a fun character. I think he gets really serious too. Like when he's talking to Yelena, they have some serious moments. Yeah, I saw something I did want to address this. I've heard Spider-Man will get the symbiote at the end of Brand New Day, and Sandman will make a cameo in the post-credit scene. I didn't hear the thing about Sandman, unless it was Sandman that was handing Tombstone the symbiote. Because what I heard was that, and this, these are reports not confirmed yet, right? Of course, could be true, might not be. The post-credit for Brand New Day would be somebody handing Tombstone the symbiote. That would be pretty cool. I think that would be pretty cool. I think they need to do the symbiote, like specifically with Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like imagine he does 3 more movies: Brand New Day, something new day, something day, blah blah. Whatever the other 2 are. I think it would be just such a terribly missed opportunity if they didn't do the symbiote in some way, shape, or form. What is my best comic book movie? Oh, that's really hard. What did I think Infinity War, some people might think that's a cheap answer because it's like an ensemble film, but my gosh, was it great. Was that movie really great? Some of the scenes that they had, it was funny, it was super serious. The way it ended was like crazy. Yeah. Yeah, this is a good point about lanterns. The reason I'm disappointed is because it feels like a DCEU lantern show and not a James Gunn DCU lantern show. I like how we saw the constructs in Superman, but I wasn't a fan of No Green Hue. Yeah, I totally get that. It is also interesting how the ring doesn't make the suits, right? But we'll see. I'm still open to it. We'll have to see. I don't know. Do it, man. You're never too old. I appreciate that. Maybe I will get into it a little bit more when I'm a bit more established in life and everything like that. I help out a lot of my family, so maybe once everybody's okay and I can have like true freedom to dive into other things, I would. Imagine Toby seeing Tom with the symbiote. I apologize. My voice is like going away. That would be very interesting because, Spider-Man gets the black suit, right, for the first time in Secret Wars in the 84-85 comic strip. But if Toby saw that, he would know what it was instantly, right? So I feel like he would tell him, hey, that's not good for you, which would automatically kind of make him take it off, unless he was kind of like, unless you can harness the power of it, and then you can use it to fight Doom, which I would totally get. And then who knows, the fun, like the interesting thing is like, we really don't know what the aftermath of Secret Wars is going to be. And what I mean by that is, like, we know it's going to be kind of a soft reboot, right? Some stories are going to survive, like Daredevil, right? And Spider-Man. Some of those stories are going to pass into it. Maybe Thor as well. But there are stories and there are characters who are going to get cut and not continue. And there's new things that are going to happen, like the new X-Men, right? So you do kind of wonder how that's going to be. Like, will people remember? I hope at least some people remember. Because if they didn't, then maybe Tom could have the suit because he doesn't remember it. Oh, this is supposed to be bad, So yeah, Peter should die in Brand New Day, and then it revives him in Secret Wars, recreating the comic panel when he rises from the grave in the symbiote suit. I think so too. I think that was one of the coolest ideas that I've heard, is that just at the end of Brand New Day, Peter Parker dies, and in Secret Wars, they reveal that the symbiote suit brought him back. I think that would be cool. Based on what I heard, that doesn't really sound like that's the plan, or like that's what really happened, unfortunately. Imagine directing a Marvel movie. That would be such a big thing. I don't know if I could handle it, to be perfectly honest. Because I would love to. I would do my absolute best and make sure it was very true, very respectful of the characters. I would make sure we got the characters right. And I would make very comic accurate suits. I will say that. Yeah. Yeah. We did talk about that a little bit. Did I pat? Hold on. Where's the solo photo? Where's the single? That photo. We did talk about it. Like, if this is Greenland and these other people really are Hulks, and it really appears like they are, and these other people are Hulks, I think there's a good chance we could get Banner and Edward Norton, just as a cameo. Yeah. Oh, that's actually a pretty cool idea. Nathan Williams. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe I got to hit him up. I do appreciate that. That's a great idea. Yeah. Yeah. I have a lot of questions, but I've heard that a blonde will be Peter's neighbor, and I've heard Gwen Stacy, Black Cat, or Yelena. Who do you think it is? Well, I don't think it's Yelena, because I think Yelena's getting paid now. With her new Avengers and all the sponsors that they've got, plus the backing of Val, right? I think Yelena's getting paid, and based on the end of No Way Home, Peter's living in kind of a crappy apartment. I don't think it's Yelena. I would really like it to be Gwen. I think we need Gwen Stacy in the MCU. I would like to see Spider-Gwen or Ghosty. And a part of me thinks that the future might be Miles and Gwen once Tom Holland's done, but I also still do think we need a Peter Parker. I think we always kind of need a Peter Parker. Yeah, I think Gwen Stacy or Black Cat. At first, there was like talks of like Gwen Stacy, I'm sorry, not Gwen. I mean, yes, Gwen Stacy, but what's her name? Sydney Sweeney. Like Sydney Sweeney being eyed for Black Cat or Gwen Stacy or something like that. And then out of everything, it was Sadie Sink has been cast for a character. And some people are wondering, like, were they going to dye her hair? And again, I fully believe she's Jean Grey. And why would you pick her when she has such like definitive, like she has such red hair? It's such a part of her look. Why would you get her and then dye that and do something else? Like, it's Jean Grey. Like, I think she's got the perfect look for it, and she's young, and they're going to kind of do a First Class, I believe, and I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect. I bet you'd be The Spot. Well, if they ever decide to do that in live action, I'm here to play anything. How do we get Miles into the MCU? Kevin Feige already said once Beyond the Spider-Verse happens, they can use Miles. He literally said that. So I think it's a matter of when, not how. I am, and to tackle that, Damien, I am excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse for a lot of different reasons. One, it seems like like Spider Noir. That looks really cool with Nicolas Cage. Looks really cool. I want to talk about that more. I actually have a lot of tabs for that pulled up. I've just been waiting for a good opportunity to do a video about that. But I think, it's reportedly the same exact one from the animated ones. I think there's some really, and they're doing a Spider-Gwen movie and a Spider-Punk movie, animated movies. So I think there's some really cool things they can do with that universe on top of that. But I thought, I'm not the biggest animation fan. Those who, really follow the channel know that I'm not the biggest animation fan, but I thought it was incredibly well done. Kind of like in the way that like K-pop Demon Hunters was as well, because I really love that movie as well. But I really like visually how they do everything. Story wise, how do we get Miles? I think it's already set up with Feast. Aunt May was working there, and I think Peter should still volunteer there. And he meets a volunteering Miles, right? And the Spidey senses kind of go off, and they're like, "What? Spidey meme?" You know what I mean? I think it's there already, man. I think it's there. And Prowler, Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, he's Prowler. They in Homecoming. I mean, they set it up, right? When he's talking about, I got a nephew that lives, they've set it up. I think story-wise, it's there. And then I think he should mentor Miles, and then Miles can become the new Spider-Man for a little bit after Tom Holland's done. The comic book reporter, thank you so much for that super chat. There are a lot of fans who want Peter Parker to date Kate Bishop in the MCU. Do you think they would be cute together? I mean, what's really funny? It's actually ironic that you brought that up. I wonder, let me see. Did I save this? I actually saw today. I don't think I saved it. I just thought it was funny. I saw like an Instagram post that was like all of the people Peter Parker has ever dated, because he's dated a lot of people throughout comic history. I mean, do I think they'd be cute together? Sure. Haley Steinfeld and Tom Holland. Yeah, I think they'd be cute together. Out of all the people there is to date, I would probably like to see the Gwen storyline most. But yeah, I think they'd be cute together. I think it would work. I do think it would work. Is that your top pick? I don't know if it's my top pick. I think I'm probably aiming for Gwen the most, because she's one of my favorite characters just ever. So, but thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Guys, my voice is slowly fading. So I think we're going to hang out for a few more minutes, and then I don't think I can physically go on anymore. Hayden, what's going on? What Doomsday fights do I want to see in the movie? Well, we've heard a lot about Magneto versus Doom, and I feel like that's going to be pretty dope. I think it would be cool to see Cyclops versus Captain America, just to see the optic blast bounce off the shield. I think that would be really cool. I'd actually like to see a Spider-Man versus Spider-Man. I don't know if we'll have an opportunity for that. We've seen the three of them together in No Way Home, but I think it would also be pretty cool to see them fight each other. I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to the Avengers versus the X-Men. I'm really looking forward to that. Like, if it's anything like Civil War, how Civil War was, it's just going to blow us away, I think. The Sentry Professor X fight, I think, is going to be pretty cool, because he's going to be like in his mind. So I think that's got that. But I think Thor and Loki versus Doom would be really cool. From what I've been hearing, it kind of sounds like Doom's going to kind of wipe the floor with Thor. Excuse me. But maybe like in Secret Wars, Rune King Thor versus Dr. Doom, God Emperor Doom. I think that would be really cool. I think it would be really cool. Need a monster version of Sentry and Doomsday. I think that would be really cool as well. Like Doom kind of awakens something in him, and the Void takes over Sentry. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would be pretty cool. I think that would be pretty cool. Wolverine versus the Hulk in the MCU. Who would win? I want to go Wolverine. Honestly, just because I like Wolverine a bit more than the Hulk, in all honesty. But I think really the X-Men and the Avengers, the X-Men versus the Avengers and the Fantastic Four, I think is going to be pretty cool. Yeah. But the Magneto versus the Doctor Doom, I think is going to be just insanely cool. Just, an Omega level mutant going at him. Yeah. And so anything with Cyclops, like, holy crap, was that a cool teaser? Taking the visor off, just blasting into the air. I hope that's not because Jean dies. You know what I mean? But I think that would be really, really cool. I think that would be like incredibly cool. Yeah. Do I think a Hercules project will come in phase 7? I hope so. I was pretty excited about that. And I think there's a really easy story there where he ultimately realizes his dad is kind of a tool. I hate how they did that. I really hate how they did that with Zeus and the weird like orgy stuff. This is weird. Like I don't like how they did that. I thought that was a little over the top and just kind of too far out there. But I think it would be pretty easy for him to realize his father is kind of a tool. Thor was kind of right. And then he becomes friends with Thor because in the comics, they're great friends. So I think that would be actually pretty cool. Maximum Carnage post Secret Wars. I mean, eventually, I know Sony's rebooting their stuff. At no surprise to anybody. I know Sony's rebooting their stuff. But we've also heard they're playing nice with Marvel now. So I really, really would like Venom, Carnage, all of that done properly in the MCU. I think we need it. Let's hear this. The MCU gets soft rebooted. I don't want some heroes on active and only for it to be the X-Men and maybe Fantastic Four. I want Avengers, X-Men. Yeah, I think that's how it should be as well. And I think just finally, they just have the opportunity to do that. And that's why I think it will be all of it. We'll finally have a universe where all can coexist, right? Where all exist in the same universe. And I think it's just going to be, I actually think the best to come from Marvel is going to be Phase 7. Lemon Turtle, thanks for joining. I'm glad you could catch it. We are about to end. I apologize. My voice is kind of going out a little bit though. I'm holding out as long as I can. And another timeline. Imagine real world Marvel. What character fits your personality? That's I will say, but it's gonna make me seem like kind of a psychopath. The Punisher. Or Cyclops. Cyclops for sure, but comic Cyclops. And hopefully the Cyclops we're going to see in X-Men or in Avengers Doomsday. I say the Punisher because I get really mad in life when justice is not served. And sometimes you kind of wish you were the judge, jury, and executioner in life, right? Like I can't be the only one that thinks that. So that's why I say like, I don't think that's too revealing of myself to say the Punisher just fits my personality. I just justice. I want justice to be served. You know what I mean? I thank you for that, Cyan. I really appreciate that. I've thought about doing maybe like a meetup, somewhere. I am trying to stay hydrated. At some point in time, the problem is like where do y'all live? Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to put it in the chat if you don't want to, but it's like, where would be the central point of the meetup? Maybe like San Diego Comic-Con maybe, but it's hard to get tickets for Comic-Con sometimes. So it's kind of like, I'd like to do that. Like Screen Crush does a tour and I know Ryan Airy and I thought, well, maybe like maybe a few YouTubers could do like a tour and that way we could talk to a lot of people and a lot of YouTubers and stuff will be there. You think I have Ant-Man vibes? Well, that's a compliment. I'll take it. I don't think I'm as funny as Ant-Man. Or Paul Rudd, I guess. I think Paul Rudd's hilarious. Yeah, I don't think I'm as funny as Ant-Man, but I think that's a compliment. Henry Cavill as Cyclops, I'm here for it. I love Henry Cavill. I think he's amazing. I think he's a class act too. I think he's got great character, like as a person. You live in Qatar. Oh my gosh. I wish you the best right now. I hope you're staying safe. Is what I will say to you. Please try to stay safe best you can. Chicago Comic-Con would be great. Meet up in Wakanda. Let's do it. You know what? Preston's in London. Yeah, see, like we're so spread out. Like I'd love to be able to chat with everybody. I don't know where the best place to do a meetup would be, but again, like I said, maybe like I'm like Greg Alba from The Real Rejects is one of my best friends. We literally talked on the phone today for an hour just talking about life, right? Sometimes we talk YouTube, but a lot of times we just talk about life. Hey, Jacksonville. Yeah, I'm from Orlando, so I used to be pretty close to you. Los Angeles. Yeah, I think LA would probably be the place to do it. I just don't really know. Thank you, Full Romeo, for a super chat. I like that dog picture. Surely they don't bring back Toby just to kill him. This is such a big thing for me because that's my rule. Toby can't die. But if he dies and is resurrected like everybody else is, okay, he's back, right? They tugged on my heartstrings for a little bit, but then he comes back. What's up, John Steele? What's going on? Montreal. Hey, I've played hockey my whole life. I've been to Montreal many times. I've been to Canada many times. Yeah, so they might bring him back to kill him, but I think he'll come back in a pretty big way. I've actually heard he's got a pretty big role to play in Secret Wars. I do think that maybe they mislead us and they make us think that him and like Toby, or that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Hugh Jackman Wolverine and Deadpool, maybe they lead us to believe that they died, but the TVA actually saved them. Because I actually think Loki is forming a team in the background. They might not show us that until Secret Wars, but I think it's going to be happening. Texas, I got actually my both my parents are from Texas. I've lived in Texas. I've spent a lot of time in Texas. It is in the middle. But people are also live in like England and like Qatar, like somebody said, there's something like that. Hope we see Andrew Garfield Spider-Man 2. I've actually heard he is in Secret Wars, so that's good. Yeah. Not to get into politics, but it's us assets that are being targeted on civilians, and there is good areas, but okay. Yeah, I actually have a buddy who was I don't want to say too much, and he actually couldn't tell me where he is now, but I was able to talk to him because he's over there. He's stationed there right now on deployment. I was like, hey, are you okay? And he's like, I'm in a bunker and I can actively hear him, like missiles hitting, around me. So yeah, it's kind of, it's crazy, but yeah, stay safe. Stay safe. The best that you possibly can. I know it's not all in your control, but thoughts and prayers to you. Want to see more She-Hulk in the MCU? Well, I will I will go over a rumor real quick that I've heard, but Tyrone Magnus says hi. Tell Tyrone I said what's up next time you're in his chat as well. I know he reacts to my video. He asked me if he could, way before. I said, of course, yeah. So yeah. Tell him I said, what's up? I heard a rumor that Alexandra Daddario is being considered to replace She-Hulk, which is interesting because let's go here. Well, that's not right. Alexandra Daddario, who I like, is being considered for the new She-Hulk. There's been so much talk about Tatiana Maslany being replaced as She-Hulk because she told people Jimmy Kimmel crap that she told people to after they took him off the air, she told everybody to cancel their Disney Plus subscriptions and was like, okay, well you work for Marvel, you had a Disney Plus show, you have a Disney Plus show because it's still there. It's kind of like you're biting the hand that feeds you essentially. So there's been a lot of talk about like, yeah, Marvel's replacing her because they're pissed at what she did. I don't know. But a rumor right now is Alexandra Daddario could be the new She-Hulk. Just a rumor. I don't think that's anything close to confirmed, right? But maybe they are talking about it. I don't know. But we've seen, I'll go back one more time actually. We've seen this, and I'll wrap it up here. Even though I've thoroughly really have enjoyed today's live stream. It is good sometimes to come in and just talk. I know Chris is on here sometimes and we, what am I doing? No, this is wrong. And we have like things that how am I sharing the screen already? Sorry, technology. Eh? We have things that we're prepared to talk about. But yeah, it's nice to come in and just chat with you guys. I really actually love it. Never mind. I mean, if this is any indicator of She-Hulk's future in the MCU, she's showing up in Secret Wars. Will it be the same actress? I don't know. But clearly they have plans for She-Hulk, and this is Scar, I believe. So Can you guys not see my mouse? Oh yeah, you can see it. There it is. This is Scar, I believe. So pretty big plans for the Hulk and Secret Wars, and also Spider-Man Brand New Day. He's supposed to Hulk out again. Finally getting Savage Hulk back, which it's about time. That's all I got. That's all I got. So I hope to do. Oh, I appreciate that, Hulk Abomination. I appreciate everybody being here today. We're gonna wrap it up. I hope to do more live streams. I hope to do more segments on the channel in general, just to be perfectly honest. I used to do something called Theory Thursday, and it became hard to control because basically it was people would submit theories, and then I would do basically a whole segment on the channel. It would be a video. Excuse me. And my voice really is going out. And I would then do a poll. I would go over like 4 theories of video and say, which one do you think is the best? And so each week there would be a winner. And then at the end, I would say, hey, vote who you would think the best theory was. And then I'd give away something like, you know, like 4 movie tickets to the person who won, or like a, you know, a steel book, you know, something like that. Something like that. But I want to do something similar to that. I want to get the Discord going, because there's some cool people in Discord who really like it and want to see it pop in, and I would like that as well. So once we get that further set up, I'll do more stuff with Discord, and I want to do videos with you all being like involved more, meaning like theories of yours, or like, you know, thoughts and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty cool, and I think it's going to start with us doing try to hit 2 live streams a week. I've had so much family and so many friends visit me this first part of the year. Like literally my sister and her 3 kids are staying at my house right now. The day before they got here, I had 6 friends staying in my house, and we were going skiing and stuff like that. And then a week before that, I had Chris and his wife and their daughter and his brother staying in my house. And it's been so much. So now my sister's still here, but now that I'm finally, you know, getting back my time a little bit more, I do want to stream more. So thank you to everybody who showed up today. I hope to see you in future streams, and I love you all 3,000. You're awesome. We'll see you next week. Woof, woof.